the suppliers you people are traveling from Ghana to China and other countries to buy from are now taking over. They are renting shops in Ghana here, selling the items you people are going to buy from them. When they say it, you people said, oh, this and that and that. I'm not against anybody's strategy or anybody's business plan. But when you are doing it, make sure you do it well, because there's no future for this business. Watch this video.
Hi Ghana friends, Mongbola 20 cities, Mongbola 20 cities, Minasi, I'm Chinese wholesaler.
Charlie, first of all, the Chinese in Ghana now them verse rough. Now before I tell you why them the verse, if you the number of Chinese warehouse in Ghana, bro, it plenty. Hey, if you go Accra especially, the number of Chinese warehouse in Accra, it plenty rough. And the thing is, they actually respect the law. So they do wholesale, they don't do retail, they do wholesale because they respect the law. Now the thing is that they say these Ghanaians go come buy the clothes, the jeans, and things for them are there. Like 20 Ghana. Then if they come them a shop, say that they can't retail them, then they go sell them like 150 CDs, then 200 CDs. So now the Chinese invest. As you can see, you see the Ghanaians for there. They go there, go buy these wholesale dresses for like 20 Ghana, 25. And then if they can't put down for them a shop inside that, then they sell out 150, 200. So the Chinese are saying that now make we count them a shop come buy up 20 Ghana, the best. But the thing is, Charlie, if it's some way you. So you go the Chinese wholesale, you go them a warehouse. They go buy the dress for like 20 Ghana. Even if you sell out like 40 Ghana, 50 Ghana, say go Glory Fair, we can understand. But you go come, they can't decide the thing like 150 CDs, 200 CDs. Now the Chinese say, we'll come. They go sell 5 for us as wholesale. So if I carry 100 CD, go the Chinese warehouse right now, we'll get like 5 jeans. You people, you the cheaters, now we go the Chinese warehouse, we vest. So the Chinese are saying, make we come. So we go. So I'm giving you this right now. These people go buy the things from the Chinese for 20 Ghana, they can't sell them for 200 Ghana. So the Chinese say, now will come buy them. They go sell, give you 5 for wholesale. I see these Ghana people for you go sell, buy the thing cheap. They will kind of sell, now we vest. How they go the Chinese warehouse.
Do you know that the Nigerian government has officially added Mandarin, a Chinese language, as an optional foreign and international language in the senior secondary school curriculum following the recent curriculum review? It's not supposed to be an option if you ask me. For you as a Nigerian that is not living in China or have any intentions of going to China to be learning Mandarin as an optional language in secondary school. Even if you have plans of going to China in the future, then it should be you hiring a private tutor or going to a university or an institute that teaches foreign languages to learn it for your own purpose. Because even in China, there's no Chinese institute or secondary school, if they call it that offers any Nigerian indigenous language as optional. So if this is not mental slavery, I don't know how to describe it. How about our Nigerian indigenous language? How about our future as Nigerians? Are we supposed to be educating ourselves to go and build another man's country or to build our own country? Why are we trying to give the Chinese people a sense of ownership of our lives? Why can't we just have only a university that teaches foreign languages so that if you want to learn Chinese language because you love the Chinese people so much, you can go to that university at that level and learn it? It should not be an option for secondary school students. There are other subjects that they can teach. Nigeria is a country that learns other people's languages. We learn French, we learn Arabic. Now we are trying to learn Mandarin. Even when English is our official language, but it is not indigenous, we are not okay with that one. Do you see France or any of these Western countries teaching Nigerian indigenous languages in their curriculum? So it's only Nigerians that love them. They don't love us. And we think it's nothing. There are many subjects that already exist at that senior secondary school and primary school level that we don't even need, like agricultural science. If you need knowledge of agriculture, then go and meet a farmer that has the experience and learn 1 or 2 from him. Even CRS, IRS, if your parents are that religious, they should enroll you in a private place where you can learn it. We are not supposed to be learning all those things in school. Even home economics, you are coming from a home, so your family should be able to teach you how to take care of the home and everything related to the home. There are a lot of subjects that need to be scrapped already, and we are taking on more subjects that are unnecessary. I'm not telling you not to learn French or Mandarin if you love them so much. Let them be an institute that will be created for this particular purpose, so that those that have interest can go and learn it at that level. Don't make it an option for primary and secondary school students. Teach them what they need. We need knowledge of mining and our mineral resources. You can find a way to incorporate that into the curriculum instead.
China has established language schools in almost every African country. But why is Chinese becoming part of Africa's curriculum?
我是非洲人。
Cats. Mao. Mao.
From Lagos to Nairobi, Mandarin is no longer just a foreign language, it's entering the classroom. Is it a smart move or a sign of growing influence? In Nigeria, Mandarin has officially joined the school curriculum. Alongside French and Arabic, students can now choose Chinese as a foreign language. It's part of a broader push to prepare youth for a globalized future.
It's good for us to learn their language too. Like in secondary schools, we go to primary, but you cannot establish it in primary. So in secondary school, it's okay. So that just like the way we learn French.
Learning Chinese language is one of the things that will help our partnership with Chinese.
They are our biggest trade partner in Nigeria. So most of the things we are using in Nigeria are usually produced by Chinese people. So I think it's an opportunity for us to learn their language also.
Since the early 2000s, China has steadily expanded its cultural footprint. Confucius Institutes, China's cultural and language centers, have been established in 49 countries across Africa. They offer language classes, scholarships, and cultural exchange programs. For many students, it's a gateway to studying in China.
The Chinese themselves learn a lot of African languages. Swahili, they teach Swahili in their universities. They teach Hausa, they teach Zulu, and so forth.
The Chinese learn a whole lot of languages because they've got a mission, right? Because they've got a template and what they want to achieve. And they know their local languages first. So my point is, learn that first. Having learned that, you can then expand and then learn other things, which I think is important.
But it's not just about language. As China builds railways, hospitals, and signed trade deals across Africa, Mandarin becomes a tool of diplomacy. Is this soft power in action, or are African nations simply adapting to a shifting global order? For many students, Mandarin is more than a language. It's a bridge to trade, travel, and global opportunity. And for many, it's a bridge they're eager to explore. And that's the flip side.
So the advantage that the suppliers have over you in Ghana, okay, as a small business owner, is pricing. Let's get that straight. Pricing is the thing that they have against you as a business owner. And you cannot outcompete. You cannot compete. Again, what did I say? You cannot compete on any level. Marketing, operations, any freaking thing, when the basic of the basics is not the same. So there are Chinese suppliers in the country who are selling products for as low as 20 cedis, right? And we've seen a couple of videos of them online doing all of these things, okay? Now I have a few takes on this. So now, as someone that is in marketing and someone that helps businesses raise money, and I do a lot of business plans, I do a lot of research, and I work on things like competitor analysis, let me give you the full understanding. I've seen a couple of people on here talking about competitors and how we need to learn from the Chinese and the kind of strategies that they're using for their marketing. When a Chinese learns a local language and decides to speak Tree and says Mombra 2020 cities, or I don't see how that is an exceptional marketing strategy that we haven't ever seen before in Ghana. This is my opinion. Mind you, this is something everybody knows. Price penetration is literally the basic thing that anybody uses to get into any market. If you're a marketing person, you would know this, okay? Now, these Chinese are not doing anything exceptional. We have a problem in Ghana where we love foreigners and we seem not to support our locals, okay? So that's also another issue. Now, when you put a Chinese supplier and a Ghanaian business owner who is a retailer that buys directly from the supplier, okay, they cannot be in the same conversation when it comes to competition, okay? Let's keep the facts real. When you are looking for someone to compete with, this is how you do competitor analysis, since some of you do not understand what that is. You go into your industry and you look at people that are doing exactly what you're doing. You cannot be a competitor to your supplier because you are not on the same scale when it comes to competition. Okay, decides not to supply to you anymore. Guess what's going to happen? Your business is going to collapse. You and the supplier are not on the same level. You are literally someone that is retailing. So you buy and you sell. That supplier is a whole manufacturer that is manufacturing and producing whatever it is that they're selling to you. Okay, so you cannot compete with your supplier in any way, even when it comes to marketing. Okay, because if we're talking about price penetration, if you go to China and you buy 1,000 pieces of dresses for a specific amount, that supplier who is your supplier can afford to slash the price down. And everybody who has been to China or has done some form of importation knows that when you buy something, 10 of that thing or 1,000 or 10,000 is not the same price at each level. Okay, so clearly you cannot compete with your supplier. So your supplier is not your competitor. Your supplier can never be your competitor. Let's get that right, because the plane is not the same. The level, like the ground is not the same. You do not manufacture, you do not produce, you cannot compete. When it comes to marketing, the reason why your supplier would always have an advantage over you in a market like Ghana that is based on pricing. They can afford to drop their prices down, but you cannot afford to do that because you are not the supplier. And so your supplier can never be your competitor. Let's get that right. And I don't like the way we're like driving this conversation in marketing. And if we're talking about price penetration, you still cannot compete with your supplier using price penetration. We can't talk about marketing and talk about competitor analysis all in the same conversation and say that we do not mean competitors. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Okay? So guys, just get the facts right.
So Mandarin Chinese has officially been added to the senior secondary school curriculum alongside French and Arabic. It is now an optional subject in a revised curriculum designed to boost cultural exchange and prepare students for global competitiveness. So Nigeria joins South Africa, Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya, where Mandarin is already being taught. Okay, for some critics, this is a groundbreaking move to give African students an edge in global trade and diplomacy. And for some others too, it sparks fear of cultural erosion and foreign influence. So tell me, family, you that you are watching, is this a smart step into the future, or are we selling out our identity?
You people want to come to China no? See, you people should relax, okay? China na mo hu ne say obi akobi no. If some ba out abeka ne crash mo me ye sure sanka by now mako Nigeria na so mako different way akoye mu bibi hwe. You see, when say me when I come out, I'll come and tell you the truth. Ne kra na ye ba akope me ka obi antu me nya me hwe. So wo sikebi na hu ne say wo sika, you can come. But I'll shana afina wo start business afina wo ye bibia. Hwe, don't worry yourself. Don't bother yourself. Okay, because you see me okay. Me won't tell me. Me say me back China and then that's my beto share cry na me coffee. E comment me. What about you? What about you? Me call Chroma na pa we you about 12:21 and humachi am no more kase. Me call Chrome. Me unkofo bebre lumba ebi pa me trust they want to come and patch here. Patch here saying, "Oh free Ghana na wo ban one bon na buy." Ah? You see about say oh gidi no buy bedu na for hotel kra wo dem kra. Hotel na nye. And now you want to get somewhere and sleep. We see can so because auto want to post can answer share. Enye dia mu no. They don't tell you the truth. Enye dia mu no. Okay? This is my apartment. See, me kwa na meda ha. Me to me am obi abeda ha. But e china semunti no. I am not here to favor anyone. I try to help them in different ways, but not say me do my apartment. But yet too for muntie China na mo pre na mo ba mo relaxing na mo be so mo kono e bi person mo be kan o mo person also ba na mo juice ka. Come and let me tell you the truth. Don't go to China if you don't have money. Don't come here if you don't have money. Oshana obeba na come be do don't come. Ma omo supply onyama na supply o sa. Momo supply or sa. I am telling you,
Welcome back to Gistline. So many Ghanaians and Nigerians, they are speaking up about how the Chinese are coming into their country through business, education, and influence. And a lot of people are beginning to question how deep China's presence has gone in Africa, and whether African leaders are really paying attention to the long-term effects of this growing relationship. In Ghana, for instance, there's been serious talk about how Chinese nationals are now heavily involved in local trading and wholesale markets. And many Ghanaian traders have complained that Chinese business people are coming directly into the retail space, selling products that used to be handled by locals. And some of them are saying that these Chinese traders sell cheaper goods, making it almost impossible for local traders to compete. Now, markets in Accra and Kumasi are filled with shops owned by or supplied by Chinese companies. And some Ghanaians believe that this is unfair because the foreigners have more financial power and access to cheaper goods, while local traders struggle to survive. There have even been protests, and some of them are coming out online to call their governments for intervention. But some others feel that the government isn't doing enough to protect its citizens' businesses. In Nigeria, for instance, people are raising their own eyebrows for a different reason. They are saying that we all saw the news where the government announced their plans to introduce Mandarin, which is the Chinese language, into the Nigerian school curriculum. And according to the government officials, they say that it will help students connect with China and also open up business and job opportunities. But do you agree with that? Because a lot of Nigerians don't agree with that. They are asking why the government will promote a foreign language when local languages like Yoruba, Igbo and Hausa are still not fully supported in schools. Then some see it as a sign that China is gaining too much control over the country, especially since China has already invested heavily in Nigerian roads, railways and other infrastructure. So they feel like China is beginning to shape the future of Nigeria in its own favor. Now, Ghanaians and Nigerians, they both share the same fear, which is their country might one day lose control of their economy and culture to foreign influence. Yes, China has helped build roads, schools, power projects across Africa, but people are beginning to wonder at what cost. Some even say it's like modern day colonization, where China uses money and business instead of guns and armies. The loans, the investments, the schools, they all come with influence, and that influence is growing stronger every year. So a lot of people are saying that Africans should not just blame China, but they should also hold their own leaders accountable. After all, it's African government that signed these deals and allow Chinese businesses to dominate the markets. And if African countries had stronger policies to protect local industries and promote the local products, there wouldn't be so much space for foreigners to take over. So my question now is that, is China helping Africa grow, or they're quietly taking over? Because Ghanaians and Nigerians, they may not agree on everything, we all know that, but when it comes to this issue, many are starting to realize that the Chinese presence in Africa is no longer something to ignore. It's changing how people live, how they work and even earn. And whether that's good or bad, it will depend on how African leaders they choose to respond. So do you think that Chinese wholesalers that are in Ghana, they are taking over the business of the locals, or what's your thoughts? Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And if today is your first time joining my channel, please kindly like, share and subscribe.
You won't believe this. While other African countries, they are trying to teach the African language of Kiswahili, like South Africa, Zimbabwe, Burkina Faso, they want to make our Africa one by speaking one language. Nigeria, they're deciding to head another direction. They're not picking a language from West Africa. They're not picking a language even from Africa. They're going all the way to another continent, the continent of Asia, all the way to China. Can you believe this? In all senior secondary schools in Nigeria, they now have to teach Mandarin and a Chinese language. Can you believe this? People are starting to say that China is trying to find ways of controlling Africa, of colonizing Africa, just like the British and the French. Now China wants to be in the mix. They want to control Africa's resources. That's what people are saying. Nigeria already has over 500 local languages, and most of them are not even taught in their schools. But now they're choosing a language from China to be taught in their schools. That's just crazy. The Nigerian government is saying that they are doing this to get a stronger tie with China, but also they want to create opportunities for their people. But people are saying, no, you're just a puppet for the Chinese now. But
so I just saw that Mandarin is now going to be an official language added to the secondary school curriculum. Somebody needs to be slapped. Somebody needs to be slapped to their senses, because the actual Nigerian languages are not even, like, people aren't even speaking it well. They now want to add some random language from where? Someone must have gotten paid really good. Really good. Like, is Nigeria even a country anymore? Like, I don't even know, because I feel like the leaders of Nigeria cannot stand, like, on their 10 toes and say no to people, like, and fix their country. Like, what the heck? People are just taking advantage of Nigerians, and that's why people are leaving, and people will continue to leave until Nigeria is not a country anymore.
Abrams also challenged me, saying that China's military buildup is a challenge, a threat to our neighboring countries. I told him point blank, no country in China's neighborhood is a match against China in terms of military power. China's military buildup is a matchup against only one country, that is the United States. China will never allow the United States to launch a war against China, conventional or nuclear, without suffering devastating consequences. If you have not watched the Victory Day parade in Beijing on September the 3rd, one of the weapons China demonstrated, we call it 61, because it can contain 60 nuclear warheads plus one hydrogen bomb. Now, in the world of today, let me tell you, which country has hydrogen bomb? China is the only country with hydrogen bomb. And that ICBM can cover every corner of the world in less than 20 minutes and destroy any target in any corner of the world without any possibility of being intercepted. I hope Washington has learned the lesson. If you want to have war, you will get war. If you want to destroy China, you will be destroyed. If you want to impose nuclear war on China, you will be wiped out by nuclear war. This is very serious. China's policy is very clear. China will not fire the first shot, but China will not allow you to fire the second shot.
So, after listening to this speech by this Chinese spokesman, China will not fire the first shot, but China will not let you fire the second shot. Everyone, I beg, go and shout power. Go and shout power for comment section, I beg. Now, this is what I call leadership. This is how to lead a people without fear. I've been studying the Chinese system for a while and recently discovered closely shared conscious personality with Nigerians. So, you see, the current Chinese consciousness was carved out of the same moon period like Nigeria, October 1st. So I started studying and comparing our charts. Now I want you to pay attention to this chart up here. Here, this is Nigerian chart and this is Chinese chart. So apparently, Nigeria and China is on the same timeline and time wave. But you can clearly see the difference in our collective consciousness on the global stage. Now, Chinese personality is Capricorn in nature. Very cold, practical, very hardworking, bold and strategic. I mean, when I see this thing now, this is a pure Capricorn expression. While in Nigeria, it's more Gemini, witty, communicative, two-faced, logical, intelligent, but not wise. Now, based on my observation, there's one peculiar thing about China and Nigeria. China has its moon in Capricorn, while Nigeria has its moon in Aquarius. Aquarius is innovative, Capricorn is hardworking. But both are governed by the same lord, which is Saturn. China is more tuned to express their personality in building their self-image through hard work, because their moon sign is sitting in the first house of identity, their identity. Why Saturn is in the 8th house of transformation. Look at it now. So hard work transforms the Chinese system. No wonder Chinese are very hardworking in nature. If you look closely, you see it. Why Nigeria's innovative nature is tuned more towards religious idealism? Because our 9th house is in Aquarius, and the 9th house is house of religiosity. No wonder Nigeria is more religious and profits more from it. When are they telling us, say many of the men of God are occultic, when I think that is joke. That is why we have more religious institutions here in Nigeria than we have factories. Funny enough, the timeline is supposed to favor Nigerians more than China. And this is based on how we are structured. But you see, Nigerian problem plenty. The plenty passes will be the citizens. You see, it's energy. Energy is everything. Now those who get eye, they see them. And if you want to understand how Nigeria works and find ways to align yourself with the existing energy, you must understand these things. You just must understand it. The chart is the contract. And once a group of people comes together, energy is formed. Energy is spirit. The energy will we carry. Now, why would they look at it now? A lot of people will talk. You know how many times we don't they talk? Now, it'll be today now. Our papa, they don't talk. Nothing will still be done. You think these politicians don't know this? They know this. They know. That's the energy. Except we reverse it, because most of the time, like I always tell my clients, the answers to every problem is always in the opposite direction. We have to go to Sagittarius. We have to go to the battlefield. That's the truth. Nigeria's identity is in Gemini. The opposite of Gemini is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the archer. You have to go to the battlefield. That's the only way to resolve your problem. We have to take it to the battlefield. That's the only way to resolve our problem. I rest my case. I'm only but a messenger. Please like, share, and leave your comments below.